Hey everybody, Tracey Morgan here, and I am the Director of Programming and Operations for the St. Louis Art Fair. Today we have photographer Chris Dahlquist in the building, and she is one of our participating artists in the 2020 Virtual St. Louis Art Fair, presented by Centene Charitable Foundation. Hey Chris.
Hi.
How you doing?
Morning. I'm good.
Good morning to you as well. Very good, very good. So as you know, we've been kind of connecting with our artists. We want to kind of get a feel of what you've been doing during this time, through this whole pandemic. Has it inspired you? Has it brought out some other form of work? Tell us about what's been going on.
Yeah, well, the most interesting thing about it is finding new ways to connect and new ways to share work with collectors, learning new skills. Yeah, and in that regard, it's been really exciting for me.
Very good.
I love creative problem solving, and what an opportunity, right?
Very cool. Very cool. So tell us a little bit about your technique and what goes into your work. What's the process?
So my work is always based on historic photographic process and contemporary technology. So I've got two bodies of work right now that I'll be sharing in St. Louis this fall. One of them, I'm printing photographs on gold painted steel, and it's very spare landscape, really highlighting the beauty of the Midwest and the plains and big open skies, room to daydream.
Amazing.
And that work, people in St. Louis will be familiar with. I've shown it for a few years. I've got another body of work that I'm excited to show this fall that is from a series called Ghost Notes. And it's photographs on a Japanese rice paper. And then I'm waxing that, and it makes it semi-translucent, and then suspending it over another photograph. So really all about the layers and the materials, and like I mentioned, the ghost notes and mile markers. And typically in my 10-foot booth, there's not opportunity to really show both of those bodies of work to their fullest, or see enough of them to really understand either of them. So I'm excited about this platform. Allows me to really show more work from both bodies of work. And I think the dialogue that happens between those bodies of work is really interesting. But it's just really hard to get all that into a 10-foot tent. So it'll be exciting to be able to share both alongside one another. I think the other thing is that my work's really quiet. It's really subtle. It's contemplative. And I think sometimes in a festival setting, it can compete with everything else going on. And so I'm pleased that my collectors and the audience will have time to really spend with the work, kind of free of other distraction. Maybe have a little more of an intimate experience with the work because of this platform.
Very good. And have you had any memorable responses to your work?
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe the most memorable or impactful response. The first time I showed the mile markers work, which has been about 10 years ago now, I had been working on it for a better part of a year, and my audience, my collectors, hadn't seen it yet. And my first show that I was able to show it, there was a woman standing at the edge of my booth, and she was kind of whispering in the ear of her daughter about the work. And I realized that the daughter was blind, and the mother was telling her daughter how the work made her feel, or the feeling that the work evoked. And it kind of validated everything that I had been doing, and kind of got me out of this notion. You know, in my studio, sometimes I'm so wrapped up in the process that it can be hard to remember sometimes that at the end of the day, it's about how it makes the viewer feel. Right, and the story that they have with the work, and it has impacted every piece of work I've made since then. Really thinking about what kind of feeling am I trying to evoke.
I'm excited to see that. So in doing this, so how are you able to like keep in contact with your customers, keep them engaged, especially with this new work that you're doing?
Yeah, so for me, the materiality of my work is so important. You know, it's really meant to be experienced in person. So I've been experimenting with new ways to connect with people so that they can really get a sense of the feel of the work. And one of the primary ways I've been doing that is I started a project with a couple of other artists from around the country called Seesaw Project. And we're doing live shows on Facebook and YouTube to interview artists, to show our technique, to show our studio, really trying to let our collectors have access to things that they might not otherwise if we were just in our booth. You know, really a kind of a behind the scenes sort of thing.
That is super exciting. I would love to see that. That's
Yeah.
always exciting for me. Like even someone that kind of works behind the scenes in production, it's always cool to be a part of that and kind of see what really goes into what it is that we do, artists do, you know, very cool, very cool.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been having fun and, you know, learning new video skills and new camera skill. I mean, all of it, right? That's pretty exciting for me.
Okay, very good. Man, that's great. That's great. Well, we are super excited to see what you have in store for us. And we want to thank you so much for being a part of the show. We are absolutely ready to get it going and see what we have going on. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, very good. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in today, and make sure you check out Chris and her work, her photography. It is absolutely stunning. And our other artists for the St. Louis Virtual Art Fair, and it will be held on our website September 11th, 12th, and 13th at www.stlouisartfair.com. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tracey.
Thanks, Chris.